As a result of the accident, U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy took swift action to ensure safety and restrict helicopter traffic from operating over the Potomac River at DCA until March 31st. And I want to commend him for that and commend the work of the FAA to also take swift action. As that deadline nears, we remain concerned about the significant potential for a future mid-air collision at DCA, which is why we are recommending a permanent solution today. On the chart to my right is a cross-section of the airspace that extends from runway 33's center line, spanning from the runway to the east bank of the Potomac River. The figure shows the separation distance that would exist according to FAA charts, with a helicopter on Route 4 and an airplane descending on the glide slope to runway 33. As stated in my last press conference and confirmed by the FAA, helicopter routes established by the FAA have no lateral boundaries, and the Baltimore-Washington helicopter route chart includes no warning for helicopters to operate a defined distance from the shoreline. So this shaded region right here represents an approximation of the area in which helicopters could be flown. We know that the helicopter on the accident date was not in this area. It was to the west. But at the maximum altitude here of just 200 feet, a helicopter operating over the eastern shoreline of the Potomac River would have just 75 feet of vertical separation from an airplane approaching runway 33. 75 feet. That distance decreases if the helicopter is operated farther from the shoreline. And again, this helicopter, the Black Hawk, was operated farther to the west. We've determined that the existing separation distances between helicopter traffic operating on Route 4 and aircraft landing on runway 33 are insufficient and pose an intolerable risk to aviation safety by increasing the chances of a mid-air collision at DCA. Let me repeat that. They pose an intolerable risk to aviation safety. We're therefore recommending today that the FAA permanently prohibit operations on helicopter Route 4 between Haines Point and the Wilson Bridge when runways 15 and 33 are being used for departures and arrivals at DCA. Now, we recognize that a total closure of helicopter 4 between Haines Point and the Wilson Bridge during times when runway 15 and runway 33 are in use would restrict a vital aviation corridor used for law enforcement activity, Coast Guard patrols, and continuity of government operations. Additionally, mandating that controllers hold helicopters in place north or south of DCA while airplanes are operating on runway 15 and runway 33 has the potential to increase risk by adding to controller workload. So we are also recommending that the FAA designate an alternative helicopter route that can be used to facilitate travel between Haines Point and the Wilson Bridge when that segment of Route 4 is closed.